Guys, we are in Davie, Florida, and our first stop for the 13th day on our tour is Lockbox Escape Room, and there's plenty of parking right outside the complex. We're very familiar with this facility because we played many of their online games already. Shall we check out what they look like inside? Let's go.
What's cracking and hacking, everybody? It is Brandon from ESCAPETHEROOMers. We are in Davie, Florida at Lockbox Escape Room. And I'm with Charlie, he's the owner. We're gonna get to know him a little bit better. And Lockbox, before we play their newest game. Is it the newest game?
It is our newest live game, yes.
It's the newest live game, and it's the only game we have not played from them, which is called the Puzzler's Lair. How you doing, Charlie?
Pretty good, excellent, Brandon.
Glad to finally meet you in person. We've been talking back and forth through Zoom. We played a lot of his games online, and now we can actually say hi in person. First thing we want to know is how many games do you have available to the public right now?
So currently we have 4 live games. Not sure if I should look at the camera or you guys, but
you can look both.
we have 4 live games currently, and we have 8 online games. So during the pandemic, we actually we literally expanded our current location in Davie, Florida from 2 to 4 games, and we had to shut down 2 days after the grand opening. So that was quite a little bit of a turn of events, but we ended up adding 2 new rooms during the pandemic, so that gave us a little bit extra time. And so now we have 4 live games, and our online business has been growing, so we've been constantly putting out new online games.
Yeah, I think there was somewhat of a blessing in disguise. I mean, you started putting out these online games early, and then not only that, I believe you're marketing it to like corporate events and stuff like that. Correct,
yeah. So when the pandemic hit, basically, just like the rest of us, trying to figure out what we're going to do. And so we kind of pivoted to online games. At that time, a lot of people were doing live stream. So live stream is basically, where you're taking a camera, moving around the room, which was, it was something that we experimented with, but we found that we got a lot of inquiries that wanted to do more than just a single room.
Right.
And they wanted to do, hey, we have 30, 40 people, how can you help us? So we ended up kind of coming up with a unique way to accommodate them, and started off with our existing rooms that we have here, just taking them, putting them into a virtual format, and then that kind of grew into being able to, we've got rooms in other locations that we put into the virtual format, and now we're just, we have rooms that we have written and developed, or written but not built yet, and that's allowing us to now take those visions and those ideas and actually build them out without having to build a physical space.
Yeah.
So that's been pretty cool, and it's been pretty exciting.
Wow, I'm glad you're doing that because people at home, they're eager for more games, and you just keep putting them out. So thank you for doing that. Wow, you're right. The time travel does work in this game. This is Timeline, right?
This is Timeline.
Ooh.
You made it.
I was gonna say everything is starting to look familiar, but now I get to actually see it in person because we've also played this game online. So let me ask you: you build everything? Set design, puzzle design, storyline. Is that mostly you guys?
So yeah, all of our the majority of our games. I will be honest. Recently, we did purchase a game that is not ours. We didn't design it, but for the most part, for both of our locations that we had, all of our games were ours, except for during the pandemic, we did buy a game. But Timeline is ours from concept to creation. The physical labor, majority of it is us. However, props are not us. I'm not a prop builder, so I cannot build your props. I can fix them now, though. I know how to fix props now, but But so yeah.
Okay. Was there a challenge that you faced while putting a room in? An obstacle that you needed to overcome while doing so? It could have been like tech, could have been storyline, anything that you guys were a part of?
So when we first started this back in 2015 was when we kind of had the concept to, okay, we jumped in and said, we're gonna go ahead and do this. Back then, the industry wasn't as developed as it is now. And so the challenges that we had were, you know, I come from more of a corporate background where things are, you know, if I wanted to open up a real estate company, I kind of have a platform, a roadmap to follow.
Right.
There was no roadmap. This was something kind of new for us. So for us, it was the really fun part was coming up with the idea, the storyline, the puzzles. That was awesome.
Right.
I am not a construction person, so I had to figure out, okay, well, we are going to make X happen when you do what, you know, A happen. We're going to make B happen when you do A. But how am I actually going to make that happen? Right. You know, so
YouTube.
YouTube. Like, you know, I got to learn all these different things. So just the challenges the biggest challenge when we first got started was we had this awesome idea. We're really passionate. We love escape rooms, but like the know-how to put it all together physically. Like, how are we going to actually take our concept, our vision, and make it a reality? And at that time, there weren't a ton of vendors that you can contact.
Right.
It's just like, okay, we have to figure all this out. And that, to me, the business end of things came naturally to me. That's my background.
Right.
It's the development, the build, the creation of it that to me was not the creativity end, but the actual physical, you know, the build out was
space, the actual experience.
How am I going to make these cool things happen that aren't just supposed to happen naturally? And so that was the biggest learning curve that I had.
So Charlie, did we time travel again? Like, oh, are you trying to tell me I need to go to my car and get out of here? Like, where are we? What is this?
We are in one of our other themes called Framed, where
Framed. Okay.
Ultimately, the general theme is you have to defuse a bomb and break a friend out of prison. You start off in their garage trying to find some evidence. I don't want to give too much away.
The bomb is deactivated right now, right?
It might be counting down. It's up to you. You have to figure that out.
Alone.
When we get off video, you're going to solve the puzzle, aren't you?
I'm going to try. So this is going to be a hard question for you because I'm basically going to ask you to choose your favorite child. Which one of your games do you have is your favorite? I know you don't get to play them, but just one that you put out. Like, which is your favorite?
If I have to choose one, it would be Timeline. Timeline is pretty much kind of... I had a lot of fun creating it. Me and my brother had a ton of fun creating. I can't take all the credit. My brother is super creative, and a lot of the puzzles that Lockbox has to offer comes from both of our minds. So, but Timeline is it's you know, I'm a child of the '80s. I love the '80s, and it was a ton of fun creating it. And so yeah, Timeline, and then also I would say right after that would be Order of Illusionists. Which
great game.
Order of Illusionists is a lot of fun. It's kind of like a magician's theme, and unfortunately that game is no longer physically in existence.
Glad you saved that and had put that out there for people to play at home online. So the next thing I'm going to ask you, it's slightly different. From the way that you describe games, it sounds like you play escape rooms, or you play a good amount.
I do.
What is one that was memorable for you? Doesn't have to be a favorite. Just one that stood out. The company in the game.
Okay.
If you have more than one, definitely share.
Okay. Well, one that stands out as well, there's two that I can think of that are kind of like out of state. They're not local to me. When I went to an escape room convention in Buffalo a couple years back, I forget the name of the venue. I think it was called Escape City Buffalo.
I'll find it.
I think it was some, but it was a horror theme, and it would just. And I'm not a huge horror theme fanatic, but just set design was out of this world. I mean, you're talking like movie quality set design, and the puzzles were. The flow was done well. Just everything was just kind of like a whole complete package.
Right.
And at that time, I think it was 2016 or 2017. I still played a ton of games, but I think at that time that was probably the peak of like what I saw. I was like, man, this, you know, as far as set design is concerned, this is awesome. Like you could literally film a movie on this set.
Wow.
And so I'm always appreciative of other companies and how they accomplish their vision. And I thought that blew me away. Another one is local in Florida, like a couple hours north, called Servants of Slight. It's kind of pretty well renowned. I had never played it until about a couple months ago. Everybody said it's like, you know, hey, this is a top room that you have to see. Went up there and it lived up to the hype. It was awesome. Both set design, it probably was one of the better puzzle flows that I've seen. And then finally, I would say as far as local, there's tons of local rooms that are awesome, but one that kind of stood out that, again, I wouldn't classify it as like a top room ever, but I would say it was probably top in terms of the amount of fun that I've had. Can't remember. I love escape rooms. I love to do them.
Yeah.
I love the challenge. I'm a puzzle guy. That to me is like what I look for first. And I have fun, but I can't remember laughing as much as I did in this room. It's from the name of the venue is called Nexus Escape Rooms, and the name of the game is Polly's Penile Problematic Problem. I think that's the way that it is, but it's an adult themed room. If you are under 18, you're not allowed to play it. I don't believe. I don't want to speak for them, but I don't believe. And if you don't want to be around X-rated stuff, it's probably not a room for you. But if that doesn't bother you, it's a lot of fun.
Wow.
And I can't remember laughing as much as I did. So
awesome. Now I know you've been playing games since 2016, 17. Wow.
Yeah, 2015. That was my first.
Oh my goodness.
The way we did it was, so I'll give you like the super speed, like how we came to open. Back in when Saw 2 came out, I'm sure everybody knows about
the
Saw.
original escape room.
Yeah, the original escape room. Well, the second one takes place in a house. And me and my brother, we watched this movie back in, whenever it came out, 2010, 2011, how long ago it was. And we were like, dude, it was just around Halloween, and we were like, dude, we should turn our house into like an escape room. We were wasted, and we were like, we came up with this whole
Dad has
thing.
all the clowns already.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this was, we were living on our own, and we were like, dude, let's and I was a business-minded guy. I was like, let's turn our house into a haunted house, and we can do this. And so we came up with all these like, basically, I developed Escape Room in 2010 when I was drunk with my brother, and then, but we woke up next day and never did anything with it. So flash forward like 5 years, 2015, I see an ad for like a zombie escape room, and it sounds exactly like what me and my brother came up with years ago. And so I go to my brother, I'm like, dude, like we have to do one of these escape rooms. Like this is like what we came up with. So anyway, we did one for my birthday, and when we did it, I won't mention which one it was, but bottom line is it sucked. It was horrible. And we were like,
we can do this.
I was like, dude, we came up with something so much better when we were drunk. You know what I mean? Like, let's come up with something better. And then from there, it just kind of spitballed, and that's kind of how we came to be.
Wow. All right. So we have one more question we want to ask you, because the whole point of doing these interviews is to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
What is something that most people do not know about you outside of Lockbox, outside of your escape room life? It could be a talent, a hobby, an interest, anything you would like to share.
Well, one thing that's kind of, if you're close to me, you kind of know about, I love poker. I play a ton of poker.
Okay.
So
professionally or just like?
No, I mean, it's not how I support my family, but it is like, I make money at it, but it's just more of a hobby of mine. Like I really enjoy it. Been playing poker since before college, and then, so that's just kind of like a passion of mine. That's what, if you don't, my version of fun is, let's do an escape room and then go play some cards afterward.
Right.
So that's something. And then also movies. I'm kind of a big movie buff. More the 80s, 90s era. But, so you can ask me anything about those eras, but I'm a movie guy. So I love, me and my brother have this, game that we play. We literally just text each other quotes. Like obscure quotes from movies.
We're gonna trade numbers because I would like to get in on that.
Like we're so at this point we've exhausted like every possible movie, so like we're down to like 1 or 2 words of the quote. Wow. Like like I'll text him great, and he'll text me back Scott. You know what I mean? Or something to that effect. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
That's really cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. And also, thank you for having us play Puzzle's Lair. We're not there yet. We're going to try it out in a second. If we have time, we're going to play Framed, because we played it online, and I think I would like to try this in person as well, if we have time. But you guys need to check out ESCAPETHEROOMers.com. That is our website. Read our reviews on what we thought of the games that we played online already, which are?
CIA Taskforce, the gamer, Timeline, Order of Illusionists, Gallery Heist. I believe you said you played Framed. Yep. And I think you guys have played Vampire Hunters as well.
Recently, yes.
Yeah. And we have 2 others. We have Principal's Office for kids, and we have a new one that's literally going to launch pretty much as
Tell
soon
me
as
it's a Christmas thing one.
As soon as this interview is finished, almost. It's going to launch this week. It's called Holiday Land.
Yes.
So it's not just Christmas. You get to save all the holidays if you can make it out of Holiday Land.
That's so cool. And also, do not forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel because we're giving you sneak peeks of inside the rooms, the lobby area, the parking lot, what to expect when you get to Lockbox. And you know what? I'm feeling generous. We're gonna show you a trailer of Puzzler's Lair right now.
Left for me to move. Time is running out, gotta figure something